This is from a rally in Isfahan, where Mr. Khatami went to make the historic Maidan Naqsh Jahan to campaign for Mr. Musavi. This is a presidential election, June 2009, Musavi's campaign. This is a famous student activist, Muhammad Yusuf al-Rashidi, Amir Kabir Technical University, March 2009. He's in jail, and people worry about his sentence. This is Ahmad al-Batali from a preceding student uprising. He went to jail because of this. This is Jamshid Bayrami's picture. Made it to the front cover of many journals. He's now in Washington. He's famous for this picture. The origin, as a result of the student involvement, of course, is historical, goes way back to the early 19th century. But specifically in this period is the July 1999 student uprising. Can they speak? I like this particularly because the front banner is in English, and the thing is that they are staging it for foreigners, but the back poster is not. Can they? This is my absolute favorite. Can Iranians speak? Obviously, I'm referring to a famous essay by a distinguished post-colonial theorist, Gayatri Spivak, the question of how do subalternity I define as a relation of power. Can they speak? Can Iranians speak? Across age, across gender, across class. Can Iranians please speak? Now, the obvious question is, what about those who voted for Ahmadinejad? Let me put it on the record. I am absolutely not sure there was actually cheating during the last presidential election. There's no way to know. I don't know. There are many people who are adamantly convinced that it was cheating, and there are people who are absolutely convinced there was no cheating. Very early on in an essay that I wrote, I said that it was cheating is a social fact. Millions of Iranians believe there was cheating, and they have put their lives on the line. Whichever way you look at it, obviously millions of people voted for Ahmadinejad, as they did in the previous election. Are they not Iranians? I categorically oppose this dismissal of they drink sandwich, or they're given sandwiches. What's wrong with that? They're also Iranians. And if the question is that they're being bribed, I have said many occasions, if Sarah Palin gave me $5,000 tax rebate and told me I have to show up in a new conservative rally in San Diego or wherever, I will go. No doubt. $5,000, we have 2 young kids, means a lot for us. So the question of they are being intimidated, being manipulated, that there's money, etc., we need to consider. We need to consider also the fact that in the making of a populist fascist regime, governmental subsidies, mass mobilization, economic incentives, populism, religious sentiments, and manufacturing of class antagonism in addition to existing class antagonism works. So, as a result, when we talk about the two sorts of rallies, the question is, who is in power? There's nothing wrong with Sandis, but there's a difference between a rally that if you go there, that somebody gives you a drink, and a rally that somebody beats you up on the head. That's the only, or drives over you with a car, or point blank shoots at you and kills you, or kidnaps you off the middle of the street, takes you to the dungeons, tortures, rape, and kills you. So who is in power? Who resists power? Now, I also want to talk about the question of conviction. This is a very, my absolute favorite. The government of the Islamic Republic is a very good government. Okay, that's the translation of the thing. And here, under it, I have a quote from Orwell's 1984, the way a fascist regime works. We are not content, this is from 1984, George Orwell. We are not content with negative obedience, nor even with the most abject submission. When finally you surrender to us, it must be of your own free will. We do not destroy the heretic because he resists us. So long as he resists us, we never destroy him. We convert him. We capture his inner mind. We reshape him. We burn all evil and all illusion out of him. This is Khomeini speaking. We bring him over to our side, not in appearance, but genuinely, heart and soul. We make him one of ourselves before we kill him. It is intolerable to us that an erroneous thought should exist anywhere in the world, however secret and powerless it may be. Even in the instance of death, we cannot permit any deviation. We make the brain perfect before we blow it out. However, I believe in limits to government and the notion of, even Foucaultian notion of governmentality. To me, even Foucault, the great Foucault, appears too structural functional. So, going back to that quotation from Hamlet, I think that the way the subaltern speaks, I repeat, by subaltern I mean the person at the receiving end of power, the subaltern acts in the realm of political praxis, not in the field of discursive permissibility. Crisis of the subject that we in the academy talk about is a literary trope and not a political predicament. Now, theoretically, those of you who are interested, what I am doing in the case of the Green Movement, I'm going against epistemology, I am going towards the notion of worthiness, and as I begin to discuss and describe to you what I believe the Green Movement is, in a moment, I'm doing what Spivak calls the strategic essentialism. And finally, from Lacan and Homi Bhabha, I borrow the notion of mimicry. In that spirit, in the spirit of the strategic essentialism, I define and I propose the Green Movement as a return of our cosmopolitan culture, which was taken hostage for 30 years by the Islamic Republic. It is the moral crisis of an Islamic Republic, meaning the halo of sanctity that the Islamic Republic had constructed around itself for 30 years has dissipated. It is the end of the politics of despair, and it is the rise of a crisis that the Islamic Republic can no longer manage. Islamic Republic has sustained itself over this long period of time by managing one crisis after another crisis. Either generating those crises, such as the hostage crisis, or taking advantage of crisis that comes its way, such as the Iran-Iraq war. Iran did not start the Iran-Iraq war. Saddam Hussein did, aided and abetted by the United States and its European and regional allies. But Khomeini prolonged it for its own reasons. It is being assimilated backward because we don't know what it is. We keep bringing it back to what we already know. And the crisis that its enemies face in controlling it, its friends face in defining it. Reading its politics is easy. It is return of the repressed. Our political culture has been taken hostage, and it is now coming out. Reading its aesthetics and its semiotics is far more urgent and necessary. As a sign, the Green Movement is mushtarak al-dilale, a term I borrow from